on Talk Sport because these young boys and girls are actually the future. You could see how strong they are. I didn't bring it to your notice. It was actually raining when they were playing, but they have good feet, and they were able to maintain their cool, bounce the ball really well, give good passes, and as well as scored a few buckets, but they were not so comfortable because it was a bit slippery. So they cried and clamored for an indoor court, so whenever it rains they can still go ahead and continue with all of their practice. So this is amazing, and then we hope that the Nigerian Basketball Federation looks into grassroots basketball, and as well as make provisions for indoor basketball courts. So whether come rain, come sun, the young lads will always go and practice. This is just so much and more we would hopefully get to see as Talk Sports continue going out to get all of these rushes, and then our key focus is to get as much as grassroots players into the biggest stage as much as we could. And on that note, we'll be moving away from grassroots and then be taking a quick flight, yes, all the way to Paris, where Haruna and Order face tough table tennis battle. Nigerian Quadri Haruna has been handed a familiar foe in the Romanian Order Lucas in his first game of the men's singles of the table tennis event of Paris 2024 Olympics. But he is on a collision course with world number one Wang Chin in the round of 32. Report reaching us that the 35-year-old has been drawn by in the first round and will begin in the round of 64 against Lucas. His compatriot Olajide Omotayo has tough duel against the Iran Nosh Almaria in the first round of the men's single in the table tennis competition at Paris 24 Olympics 2024. The draw conducted on Wednesday, July 23rd at the South Paris Arena and witnessed by coaches and team managers, and handed Africans flag bearer Egypt a big hurdle in the team and mixed double events. The Paris 2024 Olympics game marked a momentous occasion for table tennis. The 10th time appearance as an Olympic sport since its debut in Seoul in 1988 in South Korea, according to the head-to-head between Haruna and Romanian. Both players have met once, and that was during the semi-finals of the European Champions League, in which the Romanian defeated Haruna 3-2, and Paris 2024 will be their second meeting in any competition. So Haruna Quadri now is, I'm sure he's familiar with this guy and probably, suffered one defeat from him. And at this point, looking at Haruna's track record of winning all competitions locally, internationally, he said a few days ago that he's 100% confident of whoever he's going to be facing at the Olympics. So at this point now, this is someone who has beaten you before. This is a Romanian, and then it was a close one. Beating him 3-2. That means Haruna obviously put up a very good fight, but he was just an edge ahead of him. So at this point now, this is a bigger stage. This is a different stage. This is a different competition. This is a different city and then a different vibe. So we are hoping to see that Haruna performs better and then maybe get his revenge, because it counts a lot for the men's single, and him now being the team captain leading the pack of the table tennis player is also going to be a motivation for the younger guys following him behind to be able to put in more work and as well as perform when their own opportunities come. Nigerians are great in whatever they do, and we always go through the hurdles to get to the top. It hasn't been an easy journey for Nigerian athletes worldwide. So we'll be moving on and then still talking Olympics, but now we are going into football, where Super Falcons lose 1-0 to Brazil in the Group C opener last night. Nigerians return to the Olympics saw the Super Falcons lose to Brazil in their Paris 2024 opener. Nigerian Super Falcons made their long-awaited return to Olympics football after a 16-year absence, but their Paris 2024 campaign got off to a disappointing start with a 1-0 loss to Brazil in the opening match. The game's decisive moments came in the first half when Gabriela Nunes da Silva unleashed a ferocious strike that proved to be the only goal of the contest. A positive start by Randy Waldron's women, which saw Chiwendu Izua missed Nigeria's best chance of the game. The Super Falcons played second fiddle all through the encounter after plenty of attack intense. Nigeria had 3 big chances in quick succession, one of which was led by Rasheedat Abidja, Nigeria's best player, beating her marker before crossing for Izoa, whose header was saved by Brazilian goalkeeper. You know, during the friendlies, or after the Canadian and Nigerian friendlies, we made mention that it's going to be way beyond creating chances. You can't create chance and then not net the goal, because during the friendlies they created chances, though we suffered a defeat against the Canadians and then lost 1-0. Losing 1-0 to the Canadians was wasn't so bad because it was friendly, and then the result does not count at that point. But the performance of the players counted. So their performance counted. They created chances that they were supposed to score in that friendlies, and then they didn't get to score. You know, they almost played the Super Falcons half field yesterday because I watched the match. But a few opportunities, more than 4 to 5 opportunities were created by the Nigerians, the Super Falcons specifically, but they weren't able to net the goal. So all of these things now are the angles where, you know, the coach now, Randy Wardron, need to pay more attention to and see how that would, you know, change in the next game, in the next encounter that they'll be facing, because now they have, you know, started on a slow note, and then that is not showing so well right now. So we are actually hoping to see at least a draw against the Brazilians, but, you know, football happened, and then we didn't take the chances that we got, and then we suffered when they had their own chance, and then they took it. But looking at defensive wise and the midfield, and then, you know, Nnadozie also did a good job yesterday. So our defense is looking good, our goalkeeper is looking good, our midfielders are looking good. But where we have a little problem now is with the attackers. They need to not just creating those chances. They created lots of chances, but they couldn't, you know, convert anyone. It's either, you know, the goalkeeper punches it away or they play it over the bar. So all of these angles now is what the attackers need to look into. Coach Randy Wardron also need to pay attention to those details and see how well he would curtail that, so when those opportunities and chances are being created, they would be able to, you know, net the goal. But on that note, we are hoping to see a positive, you know, Nigerian Super Falcons coming out to, you know, perform well, and probably, hopefully, we hope that they get a win in their next future. So we'll be moving on, and then we'll be talking the Yellow and Greens cricket. Yes, Nigerian Yellow and Greens cricket team are known as the Yellow and Green. Yes, Kenyan series learning curve for Nigerian, says Tikolo. The head coach of the Nigerian male senior cricket team and high performance manager of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Steve Tikolo, says the recent concluded Kenyan-Nigerian Bertel series has provided Yellow and Green's valuable experience and opportunities for the side to gain exposure and display their potential. Reports reaching us that Nigeria faced Kenya in 5 T20 games and another 250 over matches, with Sambas assessing dominance in both formats. Kenya started the series strongly, clinching victories in the first 2 T20 matches. Their bowlers and batsmen worked in tremendous to secure a commanding lead, leaving Nigerians Yellow and Greens struggling to find their footing. However, the Yellow Greens dominated resiliently and bounced back in the 3rd and 4th T20 games. That is first and second half. You know, so they have quarters, but it's called T20. So for cricket now, just like basketball has first quarter, second quarter, and then 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. So now in the world of cricket, it's known as T20. So in the 3rd and in the 4th, the Yellow and Greens came back. Nigerians players showed remarkable improvement, with their batsmen posting positive total and their bowlers effectively restricting Kenyan's chances. This victory leveled the T20 series at 2-2, setting the stage for a thrilling decider. In their decisive 5th T20 match, Kenya edged Nigeria to win the T20 series 3-2 before dominating the 250 over match, thus ending the 7-match series. Despite the result, Tikolo, a former Kenyan international, believes that the Yellow and Greens will come back good. Just this year, earlier this year. That was during the All African Games. This was the first time ever the women of the yellow and green side were able to go represent Nigeria in the All African Games, and then first time ever going, they came back with a medal. So the Cricket Federation is actually reviving and then coming back to life, with Solomon now, who was an ex-international cricket player with Kenya, is actually the head coach, and he has been giving good recommendation and saying these players has been doing so well, despite they have not been performing so well or training, but they are getting back into it, and then we are getting results like this. So this is also going to happen because, one, Nigeria is a big brand. The NFF, the sports, the Ministry of Sports are big brands. So any team coming at the yellow and greens or the footballers, would always bring the best of the best because they are coming against the giants of Africa. So at this point now, we are hoping to see that the Ministry of Sport, give the yellow and greens all the support that they need so they can be able to, perform and represent well. Kudos to the yellow and greens for that performance, though that was not the result we wanted, but for the fact that we see there is hope, and then there's the fact that they are going to improve. I think we are going to put our feet down and then support them. So go there, support the yellow and greens, get your jerseys, and always go to the matches and give them the support that they need. So we'll be coming back home now, where we'll be talking local football, talking about the Eyimba pose for more success. The chairman of Eyimba Football Club and ex-international Kanu Nwankwo has expressed confidence in the team's ability to achieve great things in the upcoming season. The 9-time Nigerian champions are gearing up for the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier League, Nigerian Football League, and the CAF Confederation Cup after finishing third in the 2023-2024 season. Last season, the two-time continental champions failed to reach the group stage of CAF's Champions League, while they also slipped into the Nigerian Professional League title race. Ahead of the new season, the ex-international has vowed to restore the team's glory days as former player. I know what it takes to succeed at the highest level, Kanu Nwankwo said. I believe in this team and the talent we have. We have been working hard to strengthen our squad and improve our strategy, and I am excited to see that the results are here. We have improved all around and we are committed to doing better, Kanu Nwankwo added. So, they are also getting ready to face Enugu Rangers, who are the current champion of the Nigerian Professional League, in a friendly which is set to come up this weekend or in the early of next weekend. All of this now is just for them to prep up and get ready for the matches that will be coming ahead of the 2024-2025 season. With this commitment, Kanu Nwankwo is set, who is the chairman of the team, and he is an ex-international, will definitely get them all the support that they need, get them the coaches they need, get them the equipment that they need to be able to get back into, winning ways. So on that note, we'll be taking another flight all the way to Europe, where we'll be talking about a little bit of transfer. Grant sent for a £3 million Auburn windfall. Carl Gent are set for a windfall of $3 million in gift. Auburn's potential sale by Olympiacos Louisa, according to the Belgian publication. The 22-year-old has been linked with a move to another League One club, Strand Bondes, the 29, who have reportedly shown interest in signing with the Super Eagles invitee. Auburn joined Grant for £3 million from Norwich club sets back football during the 2023 January transfer window after impressing the Norway second tier, helping Setback gain promotion into the top flight with 22 goals in 27 matches in his first season in Belgium. Auburn consistently hogged the headlines of his rapid goal turnover, netting 32 times in 52 appearances for Grant. It was his eye-catching performance that earned him a £30 million move from Grant to Lyon after just a year in Belgium. So just after a year, he was moved to Belgium from Lyon, and then now he's actually looking to leave because he kind of declined from what they were seeing. He wasn't able to bank in goals just like he was doing when he was in Belgium. So now it's looking as if his rating has dropped, and now from 13 now he has gone all the way down to £3 million. How do you stay consistent? You need to always, not get super excited of what, your performance from the last game. You need to always, push for you to get better. So I think he kind of lost it somehow, but he needs to get back to track so that he would be one of those great top strikers in Europe, and probably looking at himself getting to Premier League, La Liga, or probably any other team, Everton or Sheffield United in the EPL. So all of these things now are angles we need to look. Still talking transfer. PSG 6 further slash Osimhen's price. Paris Saint-Germain are still pushing for a lower transfer fee for Victor Osimhen, the Napoleon striker, as they continue their pursuit for the Nigerian international this summer. According to the transfer market experts, PSG are set to return to the forefront in their charge for Napoli striker. Contrarily, Italian report news outlets, said that the French champion remained unsatisfied with Napoli's reducing asking price of £100 million. The Parisian club could in fact be decided to take a setback. President Al Khalifa considered the €100 million excessive, believing that the Lutheran he is making the same mistake as last summer. Napoli had initially demanded that the full payment of Osimhen's $130 million release clause, a figure that has deterred many potential suitors. PSG, however, have refused to meet this valuation and are hoping for a further reduction of the price. Now, with all of these things going on now, I begin to wonder, Antonio Conte will come out and say that he doesn't have Victor Osimhen in his plan. If you don't have Victor Osimhen in his plan, then why not just, cut down a little bit from the release clause and see if Victor Osimhen would leave and then be happy somewhere. But notwithstanding, despite all of these, transactions going on, Victor Osimhen still shows up for training and then he's always punctual. There's a few days ago, there's a bromance going on between him and Antonio Conte. That's Victor Osimhen and Antonio Conte, where Antonio Conte himself came out to say Victor Osimhen, despite wanting to leave Napoli, he still appears and he's also diligent, and then his work ethics is improving. So now that also gives me a sign that despite the fact that you are saying he's not in your plan, but somehow with his work ethics you think you're going to still have him in your plan. So at this point now, I feel Napoli should decide if they want to have Victor Osimhen and then or reduce the clause, so before the transfer window shuts down, he would be somewhere that he would be happy. And I'm hoping, as a Chelsea fan that you guys know I'm hoping to see him come to Chelsea. On that note, before we'd move away from football and get into boxing, I will be going on a very, very quick break, and then when I come back, Talk Sport continues. To stay with me.
Notice of meeting. This is to inform all state chairmen of our party, the All Progressive Congress APC, that there will be a meeting between the National Working Committee and the state chairman, scheduled as follows. Date, Friday 26 July 2024. Time, 3 p.m. Venue, National Working Committee Hall, APC National Secretariat, Abuja. Agenda, State of the Nation. Progress report on party structures in the states. Please note, attendance is compulsory for all state chairmen of the party. Signed, Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Basiru, PhD, National Secretary.
Yes, many thanks for joining us. And moving away from football now, we're going to be talking a bit of boxing, where Francis Ngannou has something to say about his past fight with Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia. You know, the former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has accused Anthony Joshua's promotion team for employing unfair tactics during their recent bout in Saudi Arabia. You know, speaking on the Joe podcast, Ngannou detailed a series of incidents he believes were designed to give Anthony Joshua an edge in their fight. The Cameroonian fighter, who made his professional boxing debut against Tyson Fury in 2023, claimed the British boxing promoters deliberately disputed his preparation schedule. We get into fight week, and every time we are going on to do to go on media tours, they are going to pick me up, and then I'll get there and have to wait for an hour and have before media arrives, Ngannou said. He added that his striking coach, Dwayne Cooper, believed that suspicious of this delay, suggesting it was a tactic to make fighters get tired quickly. Ngannou also recounted issues on the day of the fighting, describing how he arrived at the arena hours before the scheduled fight time, only to be informed of a significant delay. So this delay now, if you are being delayed, you know, for me, if you're being delayed, just, you know, start doing something. Maybe walk around with your coaching crew and all. So when the media come, they'll say, okay, this guy is even getting ready for this fight. But you were knocked out in the second round, right? You were able to withstand 9 rounds, or was it 10 with the Gypsy King, and you couldn't withstand 2 with Anthony, and now you're coming out months later, you know, after shaking hands and having a bromance between yourself, that is Francis Ngannou, and Anthony Joshua. After having your bromance, having your dinners together, now you're coming out to tell us there was a tactics. Bro, like, just, you're a champion. We know that you're a heavy striker. Nobody's discrediting you, but coming out to say this to me, I feel, you know, it's not something I expected from him. But if you want a rematch, call him out and tell him, Anthony Joshua, yes, I respect the fact that you knocked me out in the second round. Please, can I get a rematch? Then you have a conversation and then work on that. So I don't think this is an excuse, because when you lost earlier, you didn't have any excuse. So see, talking mixed martial arts now, because we're moving away from boxing. Someone is saying he is still the best in the world. Yes, that is coming from Kamaru Usman, former UFC welterweight champion. Kamaru Usman says he remains number 1 of the best fighters in the world, if not the best, despite his recent octagon setback. Speaking to a new podcast with Harry Konjo, Usman discussed his future plans and his determination to reclaim his UFC welter title. I am going to do what it takes to earn that title. Fight, and then fight going to happen. Doesn't matter the boom man is who is going to sabbatical right now, but all it is, I will get the job done. That is what he's saying. And Usman said the Nigerian Nightmare last fought at the UFC in the UFC 294, where he lost his title to Kamaz Chimaev. This defeat marked his 3rd consecutive losses, leading some fans and speculators to the end of his career was near. However, Usman has made it clear that he has no intention of retiring anytime soon. Yes, Kamaru Usman is a very, very great fighter, one of the greatest fighters that have come out from Benin City. Yes, from Benin City. He's a Nigerian who has worked himself all through to the top, winning fights, and this has been his consecutive loss, and which has been the highest of his UFC career. Do I think Kamaru Usman is, you know, aging and is set to retire? I don't think so. You know, he held that championship for over 494 days as a champion of the welterweight division, and he went through everybody. He wasn't just a champion that was sitting at home, you know, taking vacations and snapping pictures. He was in every main event of the UFC editions, every of the main events. So he had his title defended day in and day out in different cities, in Las Vegas, in Saudi Arabia, wherever you set a fight, he pulls up and then he shows off. So I think he just had a little setback, but given the fact that he has been rated as number 1 in his division. So we are hoping to see a fight come from Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, real soon. So we'll be moving on and then talk about a little bit about, the Premier League preseason and also transfers that is going on in the EPL. Yes, why Jadon Sancho could still leave Man United this summer. When Jadon Sancho continued his interrogation as a Manchester United player by facing Arsenal at the Sophia Stadium in Las Vegas this weekend, he could be forgiven for casting his mind back 12 months as a preseason friendly between the two clubs in New Jersey a year ago this week. Sancho played as a false nine for United that day in the MetLife Stadium, racing clear of the Gunners' defense shortly before halftime to smash the ball into the roof of the net in the United 2-0 win. It hinted at a better time ahead of the England winger who took 3 months out during Erik ten Hag's first season at Old Trafford because he was not physically or mentally ready to play, according to the United boss. This was actually what started the whole rift between Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag, where Erik ten Hag came out to say that Jadon Sancho is actually not working hard enough or is not playing enough. So he needed to loan him off. So he loaned him off to Dortmund, where Sancho was very, very excellent, and then luckily got to the UEFA Champions League. But you can't get to the UEFA Champions League with a team like the Galacticos and, not put up a good fight and expect to win. But the Dutch guys, did they put up a good fight? They did put up a good fight, but the Galacticos will not get to the final, UEFA Champions League final, and lose to any team at that point. So all of these rifts now between this coach now, Erik ten Hag, and Jadon Sancho has been the problem that has been spiking between both of them. Jadon Sancho came out to say that he wasn't ready, physically and mentally ready to perform, and then the boss, which was the manager, Erik ten Hag, said he wasn't taking his job seriously as a football player. So this has been a rift between both of them. Nobody is coming out to apologize to each other. So at this point now, will he remain, given the fact that Dortmund don't want him? Juventus wants him, and then Manchester United are not certain if they want him. But for me, I would say he should remain, get whatever it is sorted with Erik ten Hag, and then get happy and play, because I feel and I know, given the fact that there's a high chance that Marcus Rashford will be leaving Manchester United, I feel they still need Jadon Sancho to be able to fill in that role before they start getting options of someone else that can take up the role permanently. So moving on to some persons who have some court issues. Lucas, who plays for West Ham, considering taking the FA to court over a potential live ban. West Ham are considering taking the FA to court over Lucas Pereyra's potential live ban from football, according to reports. The Brazilian playmaker, who stands accused of deliberately picking up yellow cards for the 4 Premier League matches against Leicester, Aston Villa, Leeds and Bournemouth, could be banned from football for life if he's found guilty by FA. Bukayo, 26, will eligibly play for West Ham until his disciplinary process is completed and has denied any wrongdoing in relations to the sports fixing charges. According to reports, the Hammers are now considering going to court of arbitration for sports in Louisiana for the present and FA hearing that the case, and the outlets claim that the club is questioning the FA's jurisdiction over the matter, given that the suspicious betting linked to Pereyra's ban took place in Brazil. Most of the times for bet players now, you can place a bet on someone and say this person would score a goal or this person would get a yellow card. And then, there are some that would also place a bet like in the next 4 games, this person will always get a yellow card. So they feel that Lucas has, fallen short of that, looking at the consistent way of getting yellow card, and FA said they've done their investigation and then they've found out that is in line with betting practices. So with all of that now, they have a feeling that, okay, you are doing all of this deliberately, which is not good for football. Yes, a player can, come up and take yellow cards, but not in a betting scandal, because it's looking as if it's a norm, and then, you know, making people lose money and making some persons gain money, and him himself also making money for himself, which they feel is selfish. So at this point now, they might be going to court. A whole lot of investigation is going to be going on, and if he's found guilty, there's a potential ban for him. I hope, you know, if he got found guilty, there should be a lighter punishment for him than a ban for life from football. But if he gets banned, I'm sure he has made a lot of money already. He could go be a shareholder in one of the upcoming, you know, teams in League One or something, somewhere, or start up a business or something. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is there is no need for match fixing. There is no need for all of this betting thing. Like, you know, if it must happen, it should happen naturally, and not just, you know, staging it so teams will suffer, people will lose money, and then you will enrich yourself. That's not a good approach for stuff like that. So we'll be talking a little bit more about Manchester United. Again, Manchester United confidential. It was only a matter of time before we saw evidence of Sir Dave Blickford's merging gains at Manchester United, and the former British cycling superior fingerprint are all over the measures being taken to help players avoid jet lag and aid performance in early stage of the US tour. United physical performance team have prepared a detailed plan so the squad can recover from the 11-hour flight and adapt to the 8-hour time difference as quickly as possible. When the United contingent arrived at their hotel early on Wednesday evening, they went for dinner and the players were kept up as late as possible before going to sleep. So all of these things are very, very key, because most of the times this is like the preseason, and then you need to start performing well, you know, even if you don't get to win the matches, but the performance matter, the synergy, the chemistry between players, all of that matters, because immediately after the preseason, you're flying all the way back again to get into the real action, which is the EPL. And then at that point, every result is definitely going to matter. So this is a very, very good initiative by Manchester United to be able to keep the players and, you know, so all of their bodies, and then would be able to shape in well into the new atmosphere, the new environmental area where they are, and then get set so they don't have jet lags when they get on the pitch to play and get ready for all of their tour, because they would be going from one city to the other by trains, by flight, depending on the distance. So those plans for performance that has been set by them is actually super great, and we're hoping that it actually yield good fruit, and other teams as well will get to adapt to it. Now we're going to talk about tributes of one coach who got to the finals of the Euros by try and error, but was still not able to win the Euros 2024. Yes, talking about the England coach Gareth Southgate. The star players have paid tribute to Gareth Southgate in a heartfelt video following his decision to quit his role as senior manager at the starting of the month. Southgate confirmed that he would be stepping down from his position in the wake of the Euro 2022 final defeat he suffered by Spain. After 8 years in charge, Southgate formed a close connection with the first team squad, and as a result, some of them shared an emotional thank you message to the coach. In a video posted on England's account on X and liked by Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham and Kyle Walker, all shared voice notes dedicated to their manager. England captain Harry Kane said, "Hi boss, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done for me. We had some amazing tournaments and some special memories that will last forever." That's so sweet, but you had one that would also last forever, losing to Spain. So it goes round. Jude Bellingham also, you know, sent his own, and then they were all appreciative of him. But do I blame Gareth Southgate for losing out in the Euros? Yes, I blame him, because, you know, he started it off wrong, and then he didn't make crucial changes. These are the Spanish side. You can't be putting, you know, Cole Palmer and the rest of them on the bench while, you know, they are cold as ice, and then they can help deliver the goods when it's needed. You know, you keep playing Foden, who is a natural left winger, but we play him from the right. So all of those things now are actually one of the reasons why he suffered, and Foden didn't really have a very good season or a good outing with the Three Lions in the just concluded Euro 2024. So now the English team are out looking for a new coach, and Ben White, who wasn't featured, though he got invited for the team, but he is looking to go back now, given the fact that this coach is leaving, that is Garnet Southgate. So we hope that all of that, pans out well, and then we see what next Garnet Southgate will go into. Probably go on vacations like Jurgen Paul and relax and then plan on the next move. So now we are going to be talking about a few guys that fought, early 2 minutes into the game. Leif Cowell and James Macklin sparkled brawl just 2 minutes into Chelsea's game. Leif Cowell and James Macklin were embodied in a heated on-field boss just 3 minutes into Chelsea's 2-2 draw with West Ham. Colin 21 reacted angrily to the late challenge by the Irishman, grabbing his shirt by the collar before striking a ball between the two sides. Enzo Maresca's side had to rally on the 82nd minute equalizer from Leriz Ugochukwu to spare their blushes at the Leafs Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The Blues has taken the lead with 10 minutes to go in the first half through Christopher Nkunku, who fired into the corner after the Welsh outfit failed to clear Reece James' corner. Two second half goals from Luca Bolton and Jack Martins nearly secured West Ham's stunning win, but despite the draw, Cowell and Macklin scrapped overhead precedence. So all of this just came from a late challenge. So I think players need to take it easy on themselves and take it easy with those challenges. It was just a preseason. It's friendly. The result doesn't count. It's not a final. And then he was trying to, that's Jim Cowell now was trying to, injure James Malcolm. So all of these issues now are just things that they need to look into and then find a way to subsidize it. And then players always need to calm down, because football and sports generally brings people together and is a competitive game. Obviously, we know that, but it's not an avenue for boxing. So if you want to pick boxing up as a sport, you should probably go to the UFC or WWE. So moving on now, let's give a final update. Rafael Nadal could follow Andy Murray in pulling out. Rafael Nadal's preparation for this summer Paris Olympic Games is in doubt because of his thigh injury. The 30-year-old, who is a 14-time champion at Roland Garros, where his summer events are being held, has been registered to represent Spain in both the men's single and double. Nadal is scheduled to face Hungary's Martin Felkos in his first round of the singles on Sunday, with the winner likely to meet Novak Djokovic in the round 2. A day later, Nadal and the reigning Wimbledon champion Carlos Alcaraz are due to start their double campaigning against Argentina's Maximo Gonzalez and Andres Moneta. But Nadal did not train on Thursday, raising questions about his potential involvement. Yes, this 30-year-old just, recently dropped out of a competition in London because of an injury, and still he's not yet on 100% to perform at the Olympics. Looking forward, we would hope to see him at the Olympics because he's a very, very great player and the 14-time world grand champion. So we are hoping to see that he gets well soon and then get to represent his country. On that note, sadly, we'll be drawing the curtain, and that's how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Talk Sport. Please go out there, watch Olympics, support Team Nigeria, and cheer them as much as possible. I am Samuel Odi. I'll be bringing you more exciting stories. See you Monday. Bye for now.